Ava thought this was just a terrible, rainy night. She was wrong. This was a trap, meticulously planned for 10 years, and she was the final bait. Tonight, all the darkness in San Marino came for her. But what they wanted was a secret she didn't even know she had. Ava, an acoustic engineer who could restore damaged audio, was like a speck of dust in the bustling metropolis of San Marino. The city's nights were a dazzling spectacle of neon, like a vast expanse of black velvet studded with diamonds. But for her, there was only endless darkness and cold rain. Tonight, her best friend, Nina, had called her, her voice a near hysterical sob, begging her to deliver a newly restored old audio tape to a warehouse on the West Side docks. She claimed it was the only thing that could save her father's life. Without a second thought, Ava grabbed the tape and rushed out into the rain. But now, a lavish luxury car, sleek and deadly as a panther, had been tailing her for 3 whole blocks. Fear, like a creeping vine, wrapped around her throat, making it hard to breathe. She swerved abruptly into a dark alley. Her heel caught on the slick pavement, and she fell clumsily, the tape skittering away from her grasp. A car door opened. A pair of gleaming, custom-made leather shoes stepped into a puddle, splashing cold water. Despairingly, Ava looked up. The light from the alley's entrance silhouetted a tall, imposing figure. He was against the light, and she couldn't see his face, only feel an overwhelming, crushing presence. "Miss Ava, we meet again," a deep, magnetic voice echoed. Her mind went blank, her body trembling violently with panic as her vision began to blur. Before she lost consciousness completely, she remembered only a pair of strong arms lifting her and the faint, strangely reassuring scent of cedarwood. When she awoke, Ava found herself on an impossibly soft, large bed. An entire wall of the room was a floor-to-ceiling window, offering a panoramic view of San Marino's nightscape, as if the Milky Way had fallen to earth. Her drenched clothes had been replaced with a set of clean silk pajamas. "You're awake." She followed the voice to see the man sitting in an armchair by the window, holding a glass of red wine, his posture as elegant as an ancient Greek statue. The room's lighting was soft, and this time she finally saw his face clearly. It was a face so handsome it left one speechless, with chiseled features and eyes as deep as a frozen lake. He was the shadow puppeteer of San Marino, Leo Romano, the enigmatic founder of Aegis International, the world's top crisis management firm. It was said he handled the most intractable problems for the world's elite, a maker of order in the darkness. "Who are you? Where am I? The people chasing me." She clutched the blanket nervously. "I'm Leo," he said, setting down his wineglass and walking towards her. "This is my apartment. As for those men," he paused, his gaze as sharp as a blade. "They weren't common thugs. They were elite agents from the Hydra Group." Seeming to read her confusion, Leo switched on a holographic projector on the wall. A surveillance video played, showing Nina anxiously handing a USB drive to a man in a suit, the Hydra Group logo visible in the background. "Your dear friend sold you, and the tape in your hand, to my arch-nemesis, Silas Croft." Ava's heart sank. Impossible. Nina would never do that to me. Her father is indeed in trouble, owing a massive gambling debt to a company under Hydra, Leo stated, his tone devoid of emotion. "But the tape you're holding isn't just any audio recording. Hidden beneath its sound waves is a set of encrypted data, a ledger detailing all of Silas Croft's illegal transactions over the years. And the man who created this sonic safe was your father, who disappeared so many years ago." The information was overwhelming. Her brain felt like it was about to explode. Her father, the man who, when she was 12, had abandoned her and her mother for supposedly leaking company secrets, and vanished from their lives. "My father, he wasn't a simple audio engineer," Leo interjected, cutting through her thoughts. "He was my mentor and one of the co-founders of Aegis International, a strategic genius. He didn't betray the company. He was framed by Croft. That data was the weapon he prepared to take Croft down. But he failed. To protect you and your mother, he had no choice but to disappear. So all these years, she had been wrong about her father. Tears streamed down her face uncontrollably. Then, why did you save me? Leo walked to her bedside and gently wiped away her tears with his thumb. Because before your father disappeared, he made me swear an oath to protect you at all costs, he said in a low, solemn voice. All these years, the overseas experimental medicine that funded your mother's treatment, the anonymous scholarship that paid for your university tuition, that was all my doing. Ava was completely stunned. In the years she knew nothing about, a pair of eyes had been silently watching over her. This powerful, godlike man was her guardian angel, and so Ava began living in Leo's penthouse apartment. However, as she settled in and sorted through the few belongings she had brought from home, she found a faded note tucked inside her mother's favorite book of poetry. It was in her father's handwriting, with just one sentence. The canvas is the song, but the melody is a lie. Don't trust the phantom. The phantom? What did that mean? Ava's heart sank. In the underworld of San Marino, Leo had a fearsome moniker, the Phantom. Was her father's note a warning not to trust Leo? The discovery was like a poisoned thorn, lodging itself in her heart. She decided to play along, observing him in secret. The plot is getting complicated, isn't it? Who are the good guys and who are the bad guys? If you're starting to wonder too, hit that like button and let me know. Subscribe to the channel, and let's unravel this mystery together. Leo began to teach her the basics of counter-surveillance and reading people. In the study, he would stand behind her, his hands guiding hers as she analyzed micro-expressions. His body heat and steady heartbeat were a constant distraction, unsettling her. But with the secret she held, every moment of closeness only made her more wary. One late night, while Leo was out, she snuck into his study. Using the skills he had taught her, she broke through the initial password on his computer. In an encrypted folder, she found something that sent a chill down her spine: surveillance footage of the area around her apartment from a few weeks ago. The video showed Nina being coerced by Hydra's men, while Leo's team watched from a nearby car, making no move to intervene. He had known about Nina's predicament all along. He had let it all happen, only to appear at the last moment as a savior. It turned out she wasn't a princess to be protected, but merely bait to lure Croft out. The pain of betrayal washed over her like a tidal wave. But she didn't cry. From that moment on, she decided she would find the truth on her own. A few days later, Leo had to attend a charity gala, citing security concerns. He insisted Ava accompany him as his date. The gala was a glittering affair of fragrant perfumes and clinking glasses. Ava, in a stunning starry blue gown, was breathtakingly beautiful, making her the center of attention and a target. Midway through the event, Leo was pulled into a private conversation with a dignitary. Just then, a waiter accidentally spilled wine on Ava's dress. When Ava went to the restroom to clean up, danger struck. Two assassins disguised as cleaning staff cornered her inside. Ava's heart leaped into her throat, but her mind raced, recalling every move Leo had taught her. She used the confined space to her advantage, splashing hand soap into their eyes, then violently kicking open a stall door to create chaos and escape in the confusion. Alarms blared, and the entire ballroom descended into pandemonium. Instead of running to Leo, Ava used her training to pick the fastest, most concealed escape route through the kitchen. A heart-pounding chase ensued in the backstage of the hotel. She dodged scalding pots of soup, clambered over cluttered shelves, and finally escaped through a ventilation shaft onto a maintenance catwalk on the building's exterior. The cold night wind cleared her head. She knew this attack was too coincidental. The security at Aegis International was supposed to be flawless, unless there was a mole. When a grim-faced Leo found her, Ava was calmly smoothing out her torn dress. She didn't fall into his arms for comfort. She simply said, "Your security network has static." This brush with death solidified Ava's suspicions. She pretended to trust Leo implicitly while casually mentioning to his second-in-command, a man named Kato, that she seemed to recall some clues left by her father and had arranged to meet an informant at the old city library. She was betting that the mole would pass this information along. On the day of the meeting, Ava walked into the library as planned, but her real objective was to use the building's labyrinthine structure to shake any tails and then secretly investigate Kato. Using a snippet of information she had seen in Leo's study, she located a hidden safe house Kato maintained outside the city. Inside the safe house, she discovered a shocking secret. Kato was not only Croft's inside man, but he was also the long-lost illegitimate son of the Hydra Group's founder. He had infiltrated Aegis International to work with Croft from the inside, seeking to destroy Leo's organization and avenge his family. She and her father's data had been nothing but pawns in Kato's game from the very beginning. Just then, an alarm sounded. Kato was back. In the nick of time, Ava uploaded all the evidence to an encrypted cloud server, then leaped from a second-story window and vanished into the night. Now, she was not only being hunted by Croft, but also had to beware of a deadly betrayal from within Aegis International. She was truly an island, with nowhere else to turn. Ava had to put her faith in the morally ambiguous man. She encrypted Kato's secret, using the reverse melody of the lullaby her mother used to sing and sent it to Leo. Then, she deliberately contacted the now Hydra-controlled Nina, exposing her own location to lure Croft and Kato to the final stage, a decommissioned data fortress on the high seas. In a cold sea wind, she and Nina were locked in a metal room. This time, she didn't wait for Leo's attack. She knew he wouldn't act rashly until the mole was dealt with. She had to rely on herself. When Croft forced her to decrypt the data on the tape, she feigned compliance. But the moment she connected to the system, she initiated a backdoor program she had prepared. It wasn't a simple decryption. It was an activation. "You're wrong, Mr. Croft," Ava said, her gaze calm and sharp. "My father didn't leave behind a ledger. He left a prototype for a sonic weapon. Its name is Vengeance, and the key to activating it is your voice print and heartbeat." Croft's face paled. A subsonic frequency, imperceptible to the human ear, filled the room. Instantly, all of the Hydra Group's server hardware was physically destroyed by the high-frequency resonance, and its global network collapsed. "This is the real weapon my father left behind," she said calmly. "It won't just expose your crimes. It will erase everything you have." Just as an enraged Croft was about to order her killed, the fortress door was blown open. Leo and his team descended like avenging angels. Behind him was the captured Kato. "The game is over, Silas." Leo's voice was as cold as ice. 1 year later, San Marino's skyline still glittered. Aegis International had established the Dawn Foundation in honor of Ava's parents, and she was its fully independent director. Nina also worked at the foundation, their friendship reborn after surviving the ordeal. Tonight was the foundation's anniversary gala. Ava stood on the apartment's terrace, the evening breeze gently rustling her gown. A pair of warm arms wrapped around her from behind. "Are you still angry with me?" Leo's voice held a trace of uncharacteristic vulnerability. "I was angry," she said, turning to face him. "Angry that you used me. Angry at your arrogance that almost got us all killed." "I'm sorry," he said, gazing into her eyes. His once icy stare now held nothing but profound tenderness and remorse. "I admit, my initial plan was full of calculations. I fell in love with a star that shone on its own. Yet I still tried to keep it in my pocket. I was wrong." He knelt on one knee and opened a velvet box, revealing a brilliant diamond ring. "I can no longer promise to protect you, because you are already strong enough. I only want to ask you, Ava, will you be the one and only star for the rest of my life, and let me be your eternal guardian?" Ava smiled through her tears. This time, they were tears of relief. "I will." She once thought her world consisted only of sound waves and darkness. But this man had burst in, cloaked in starlight, teaching her courage and giving her love. He made her understand that only in the deepest night can one see the brightest stars. And true strength wasn't about being protected, but about having the power to choose, to forgive, and to love. And that's where our story ends. A tale of moving from darkness to light, full of love and redemption. If you like this ending, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support is my biggest motivation. And there will be more great stories to come. See you in the next one.